Hey guys, we're back with some more fidget toy reviews and ASMR question mark. I feel like that's going to be my brand. ASMR question mark. Let's get right into it. So, I have some new stuff to show off for you guys today. Not too much, but I did think it would be worth if I started off by updating you guys a bit on some of the stuff that we talked about last time. So last time we did review for toys. We reviewed the Goo Tubes, like originals tubes, I guess. We reviewed the Specs Gump stress balls. We reviewed the Push Peel sensory board, and we reviewed the Specs Crags ferrite putty. I promise I'm going somewhere with this, and there will be a segue into the new stuff. But let's start by talking about these guys, the Gump stress balls. I think my assessment of them was correct. I think the idea is great. I think the material is fun to play with, but I don't think they are like very well designed for long-term use. You can kind of tell that this thing, because it is like soft and rubbery in its like silicone material, it is definitely a magnet for like dust and lint, and it just like doesn't feel amazing to like look at or to play with when you're just like a dirty silicone ball. There's not much you can really do to avoid it. Dust is just a regular part of life, you know. And then the material remains fun to play with, but I don't think these are constructed super well. The one that I've played with the most is this green one here. And this seal at the top that we talked about last time is really what bothers me the most. You can kind of see there's air bubbles in the seal. And that's not great. And then also like the way that the seal kind of expands when you squeeze it in a way that sends pressure into it does not feel very safe. You can kind of see it's like created this weird bulb. I feel like this is going to break, and I've started to feel that way in the first like 2 days maybe. I was like, oh my god, holy shit. Well, it broke. Yeah, there's goo coming out of this now, which is its own kind of content, but I am going to discard this right now. I'll be right back. So yeah, Specs Gump, they're not terribly expensive per each one, but I'm not really impressed by these. I like the idea. I think the execution is bad. I would like the outer material to be something a little bit less like sticky, and I would like the construction to be a little bit more solid. But I really like squishing whatever's inside of this thing. It's just I don't think I'm very happy with how it's constructed. So $20 for 3 of these. It's not bad for the price, but you do kind of have to look at them as consumable goods and not as like a lasting toy. So I can't really in good faith give these my recommendation. You kind of see like they're just kind of sticky. which is fun when you play with them like this, but it's just not a great hand feel. Let's move on to the follow-up on the goo tubes. I'm still quite happy with this toy. The flaws that I found in it are in kind of like the plastic. You can kind of see there's a little bit of creasing that happens in here. And the more like pressure I exert on this toy, the more that like there's little places where the glitter can get caught. I don't really think that's a flaw. I don't think it's by design, but I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing, but it's something to note. You can kind of see at the top here. Well, not anymore. There we go. Here, there's quite a few air bubbles now in this because I have been playing with it for a while. I think that's just a byproduct of this thing is made out of plastic, and when I squeeze on it, it puts pressure, which expands the plastic a little bit. I do think it would be nice if there were some way to prevent that, but I really don't know if there is. And it doesn't really diminish the value of the toy. I've found that I love letting gravity do its work on the glitter and kind of like shifting it around the toy and seeing if I can get all the glitter to bunch up in one end and stuff like that. So the plastic does feel quite a bit softer now that I've been massaging this for like a week and a half maybe. Maybe it's been 2 weeks. I don't understand the passage of time anymore. But the plastic's definitely a little bit more softer, a little bit more pliable. It's not really the same firm feeling I got when I first got it, but I don't really think that's a huge issue. I still quite like this toy. It's like $6 to $7 USD. I love watching. I don't know if you guys can really see, probably not, but I love watching the glitter sink from like this way up and down, and that's also kind of fun. It's got audio, and it's, you know, it still makes a little bit of sound. It's visually stimulating. It's touch stimulating. I honestly, I would buy another one of these. I'm considering buying another one of these. I also kind of view this as a consumable good. I can see it eventually wearing down, but its durability is miles above the Spec Scump balls. I can see this lasting me quite a while, even with the wear and tear that I'm going to put it through. I don't feel like I have to buy another one. I feel like I will buy another one because I want to. Pretty happy with this. I recommend. I have found myself happier with the push-peel board than I even initially was, and I was quite happy with it when I started. I love finding little patterns that I can use to try to figure out how neatly I can fit the strings into the board. I still wish two things. I still wish, one, that this came with 12 strings instead of 11, just because 12 is such a delightfully divisible number, right? Divisible by 2, divisible by 3, divisible by 4, divisible by 6, right? And so, like, there's so many different ways you could make things nice and even with 12. And I wish that the color distribution of the string had been more even. However, the quality of the product itself, I'm really, really happy with. I kind of expected this board to go through a little bit of wear and tear, but I still feel like I'm getting the same amount of happiness out of like how it feels to put these strings in this board. It doesn't feel worn down at all, and I've been playing with it quite a bit in the past week or two. So honestly, just from the sheer quality of the build and the materials, it feels rock solid. peeling these little strings out of this board still feels just as good as it did when I first reviewed this. I'm really happy with this. I would buy another one. I would buy probably another blue one, and then you could put them next to each other, and then you could, like, you know, weave them through. I don't think I'll do it immediately, just because I am quite happy with how this is already going. But I can very easily see myself down the line getting a second one of these and putting them next to each other and just going crazy. I could definitely see that. For 20 bucks, again, not to continue to dump on the Specs Gump stress balls, but like considering 3 of these cost the same as 1 of these, your $20 are much better spent on this piece, I feel like. I'm like unhappy that this broke, but I couldn't have asked for better timing for it to finally break. The fact that I caught it on camera while I was talking about it, I think, is the funniest and content-wise best thing that could have happened. But yeah, I can see why there are 11 of these, because when I do a specific pattern, I can fit exactly 11 of these and fill up like almost every groove on this board. I love just touching the board. I like playing with the noodles. I will like sort them by color. I'll like try to make a little pyramid out of them. I have, other than the fact that I would love if there were even a number of each color, I have pretty much nothing else bad to say about this. Like, this thing is great. Before we move on to the last follow-up, this desk mat and the one from the last video are by Elenemut. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I do have the links. The last one was a Final Fantasy XIV Amarat design, and this is a Final Fantasy XIV Crystal Tower design. I'm looking forward to getting to show off some of the desk mats. So, yeah. Let's talk about Specs Crags. When I reviewed this toy, I enjoyed it. I wasn't like super into it. Excuse me. I wasn't like super into them. This one, I would say my opinion of it has improved pretty significantly since we played with them on the last video. I feel really good about my decision to keep this plastic bag. I do kind of stand by what we said in the last video about the fact that it's both loud and like not very, like kind of a weird experience to get them out of the tin once they've stuck to the tin. But I really like playing with these. I think when I played with them in the last video, again, not to continue to dump on the Specs Gump balls, but like these came with like some kind of like powdery residue on them, and I think it was because they are so like dust attractive. Like honestly, I could use this to like clean off a desk mat, which is kind of sad. But I did not like the feeling of of these in my hands. They felt like kind of dusty and dirty and like crummy. And I think that is more due to the residue that was all over my hands from these things than it was due to the actual feel of these. I obviously washed my hands several times, many times since we did the last video, but also I took some time and I actually washed the stones as well. I just put them in a bowl with some, a little bit of hand soap, and I kind of swooshed them around for a couple minutes and then rinsed them off and set them out to dry. I did notice that after I played with them for a long time, or even a short time, after I played with them for a while, and I went to go wash my hands, I could see like dark residue coming off, just like the dust. So even if you don't go directly from playing with the Gump stress balls to playing with the Crags Ferrite Putty, I would say I do recommend just washing these if you get them. They did feel a lot better afterwards. I love playing with these things. I love the idea. I'm a Virgo, okay? I love to sort things. I love to count things. I don't know a lot about astrology, but I know that's a stereotypical Virgo thing. So I love just like, first off, these are magnetic. So I love just taking these and kind of like taking a little blob of this and kind of like massaging it out into a thread. This is so fun. I love doing this. I could do this all day. I have done this all day. And then connecting it and just trying to make as much string out of this as possible. This is fun. I love the feeling of just like, it's a very bringing order to chaos kind of situation. And then sometimes when you do it, the strings don't connect because they're facing the wrong way. So it's like everything has its place. Everything has its direction. I love this toy. I'm really happy with 3 out of the 4 toys that I got, you know. I was a little bit apprehensive about giving this like a really positive endorsement, given like at first I think I didn't really learn what I like to do with these on that video, and then also the price point is a little bit higher. These will run you $25 USD on Amazon for a medium tin. But as somebody who loves to, I love just like taking a little piece of these and then just counting out, like it's like counting beads almost, right? Here's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 10, and you can take these and you can sort them into even piles just based on counting them, and that's kind of what I want to do today, a little bit, right? I love counting and I love sorting. It just makes me feel like it just brings me happy brain space. I love making things into even piles, right? So I could sit here and sort these into 2 equal piles, but I was thinking about, like, you could sort them into 3 even piles. Like, the possibilities are endless. 4 even piles. Now we're getting too crazy. But what I wanted to say was I was thinking about other stuff that I wanted to do on this channel for ASMR. I think we'll continue to do the occasional SFW roleplay audio, but I think this is a much more repeatable form of content for me to make. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A much more repeatable form of content for me to make. So I can kind of see myself doing a lot more of these. This is fun. It's relaxing for me. I hope that I get to lull you to sleep during these. 2, 3. But I was also thinking about opening trading cards for you guys, because something I noted internally that I found successful about the last video, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something that I noted for myself internally that I enjoyed about the last video was having something tactile to talk about, right? Not just like an expectation to just find something to ramble about. I loved having a physical thing in my hand to give you guys reviews and thoughts and rambles about. So I've been thinking about opening like Magic the Gathering cards. This is an old hobby of mine. I think it'd just be kind of fun to show off some of the art. The way I got there was actually not opening cards, but an activity that I have found very zen in my life, throughout my life, is sorting trading cards. I love to sort cards. There are different colors you can sort them by. There's like types you can sort them by. There's rarity you can sort them by. There's like in-game associated resource costs that you can sort them by. There's names that you can alphabetize, which I have done before. So I love to sort things, and I thought it would be fun to sort. And I thought maybe we could just buy a bunch of new cards and then have a sorting session. But as I was processing that thought, I was like, hey, I was looking at these little stones. And I was like, you know what? I love sorting these into multiple piles, as you can see that I've been doing for a little while now. So what I did was I bought another box. I was a little bit disappointed when I went to go look. I kind of assumed that like this tin had the oil slick color, and that this tin would have like some purple ones, and another tin might have some blue ones or something like that. But these, as far as I have found in these tins, they do only come in 2 colors. They come in, excuse me, let me find my exact. They only come in 2 colors. They come in the kind of like rainbow oil slick color, and they come in this black color. So I thought it would be fun to take these out and combine them. My idea of like a really relaxing time is if I take these and mix them all together, and then I sort them. That's just an idea of what a cool person I am. That this is my idea of like a very soothing afternoon. Okay, first off, having more of these is awesome at a first reaction. What I really liked doing was I kind of liked to turn this into like a little blob that's shaped like a computer mouse a little bit, and kind of like move it around and pretend it's a mouse to fidget with this when I'm trying to get myself to fidget less with my computer itself. But now I have 2 of these. It's too big, but you can make it even bigger mouse. You can't really see, but I also really like just kind of like building this up and kind of forming a little arch. Kind of see, I can poke my finger through here. There's an arch here. A good way to do this would be if I took a picture. This is the best I can do for you guys. But here is an idea of what this looks like from a side view. I love doing that. I really would have liked if they came in more actually different colors versus just the oil slick, because I will say it is pretty hard to tell them apart visually. You do kind of have to like really observe, but I feel like this is something that will definitely bring me a lot of. I could get sucked into doing this. I kind of told myself going into this video that I don't know if I can fill as much time with rambles as it would take me to sort all of these out, especially considering that it does take quite a bit of observation to tell them apart. So if I go quiet for a while and just sort these little rocks out for a bit, hopefully that's okay. I don't know if I'll do all of these on the stream on the video. We'll kind of see where it takes us. There is one other new toy that I got, and I do want to get to it. So let's take a look. How long has this been going on for? Oh, the video is only like half an hour long. We can sort these for a bit longer. I don't really want to get too into it now because I know I'm going to repeat some of this later, but I'm really excited to open cards and talk about them with you guys. I was never very good at Magic. It was kind of like a thing that I did as a social activity because my friends were really into it. My friends are all better than I am at Magic, so... but it's a trading card game from a long time ago. Still going pretty strong. And my real favorite thing about it is the way that the cards themselves tell a story. There's always really beautiful art on the cards, but also they will often have these little descriptions or little quotes on them from other characters in the universe, and together all of the cards kind of tell a story. They build worlds and stuff like that, and I always loved kind of like the idea of how story and gameplay could be so seamlessly integrated from a mechanics standpoint. Like, there will be a character who's like a knight or something like that, and on their card they might be like good at defending or something like that. Or there will be like something that has wings, and that gives them like the ability to fly over other creatures in the game. And just like the way that the mechanics of the cards are built so seamlessly into the personality of the character or the thing that's on the card, I do really like that a lot. So I think that will give me something to ramble about. I can only ramble so much about sorting pebbles of different colors, but I do think this will be satisfying to have done. So let's just do this. Maybe I can talk about other stuff. I've been watching more stuff than I usually do. I'm not usually like a huge watcher. Like I'm usually like a player of games. I'm a player. No, Jesus. I had to resist saying that, and I said it anyways. I like to play games, or I like to do something interactive. I'm not usually a big TV show and movie watcher. I like to watch TV shows and movies as like a social activity more than I kind of enjoy them for my own pleasure. But I've been kind of catching up on some TV that I've been missing. I watched Cyberpunk 2077 recently, and I had kind of been putting it off for a while because I thought I was going to watch it with people, and it never really happened. So I finally sat down and watched it. Nope, I don't think this is right. Oh, this is right. I do wish that these were, I could have gotten a different color instead of just the black. But this is doing it for me, I will say. already, like being able to see these two distinct piles and how one of them is like this colorful mix and this one's like all black. It is very like we're bringing order to chaos, and that brings me a lot of joy. Cyberpunk 2077, which is an anime on Netflix, is the studio that does the animation is called Studio Trigger. And they were formed in like the mid 2010s. And they were formed specifically by a ton of ex-Gainax employees. So Gainax is another kind of like historically legendary animation studio. And I think there was quite a bit of fall off in their like internal procedures and also their like quality for a while. But they are responsible for shows like Gunbuster, Neon Genesis Evangelion, a lot of very formative super robot shows. They're responsible for my favorite TV show ever, which is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And so when these employees went and formed their own animation studio, I was really excited because I was like, oh, Gainax is back, or like the thing that I loved about Gainax is back. They made Kill la Kill in, oh shit, this is the wrong pile. Fuck. This is my brand. I do ASMR where you say fuck. Not that other people don't do that, but I'm sure they do. There's one more rainbow in here. Put that in the wrong pile like an idiot. Okay, that's better. I do love how it feels to kind of like spread these out and kind of like massage them. Yeah, so Studio Trigger made Kill la Kill in 2015. It was pretty good. It kind of felt like they're known for a very like wacky, over-exaggerated animation style, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But I think after a while of watching the new studios stuff, kind of started to feel a little bit like it was just a little bit too much. I wanted to see their work breathe a little bit more. I think Gurren Lagann is not really afraid to have slow moments and quiet moments to go with its like over-the-top stuff. If I would say Kill la Kill does a relatively good job of, letting itself breathe and be slow when it needs to be. But I think kind of afterwards, there's a movie called Promare that they animated, which I love with all my heart. I do love that movie. But I feel like it was just like, it was so fast-paced more than anything else. And it makes for a very fun watch. But when I watched Cyberpunk recently, I was really pleasantly surprised with how they allowed that show to really slow down. And it was really beautiful. Like really breathtaking, introspective, romantic moments in this high-octane world and animation style. I was really happy. I know the show is not new, but again, I only watched it recently, and I was really happy with how, there were so many moments where I was just like, this could be a desktop wallpaper. I'm not like, I think they're really good at overstimulating you with really cool action choreography and exaggerated like hit frames and stuff like that. But I do think they are just as good at making you just stop at like a jaw-droppingly beautiful moment. And I feel like I got a lot more out of that from Cyberpunk than I'm used to getting out of them nowadays. So I quite enjoyed that show. I haven't really been watching a lot of anime. I used to watch a lot more anime growing up. I've largely made a shift to reading manga just because I read really fast and sometimes it's just like a pacing thing. I read the Oshinoko manga. I only got into it in the past year. It ended recently, like last week, right? And its ending was controversial a little bit. It left some mixed reactions from the fan base, let's say. And I feel like I'm not really sure how I feel about it myself, but I think I got what I wanted to out of that series, which was experiencing that series when it was good, like when it was widely accepted as good, I think was something I really enjoyed. And I'm willing to let that be what I get out of that experience, you know. There are stories where I feel like the ending ruins and invalidates a lot of what happens between. And I think you could argue for sure that Oshinoko does the same thing. But for people who don't watch anime, our equivalent here might be something like Game of Thrones ending, from what I understand. I did not watch past like the second season of Game of Thrones. I just got bored because I read the books beforehand, and I was just like, this is moving too slow. I already know everything that's going to happen, and it's just for, I don't know, I read relatively quickly, so like watching the Game of Thrones live action TV show, I was just like, this is moving at a snail's pace. I could not watch that show. It's not for me, but it's for a lot of other people, and I respect that. You know, I'm glad that it got popular, and I feel terrible for the people who got invested in it only to be disappointed by the ending. I think a lot of people feel that way about Oshinoko. It definitely feels like there was a lot of common discourse that I see about that show, or I guess about the manga. The show is still going. A lot of common discourse I'm seeing is it really feels like they had the ending planned out from the beginning, and the story kind of changed. The characters grew and the story grew over time, and in order to arrive at the ending that was planned from the start, they kind of had to undo some of that development, and I think that is hurting some people's appreciation for the show, and I think that's valid. That's a pretty valid complaint, I think. It's kind of like, again, for people who are not anime or manga people, a similar comparison might be How I Met Your Mother, where the show fundamentally changes over the course of, like, was it like 12, 15 seasons? I don't really remember. And the characters change from what they were at the beginning of the show, but because the show is told through the framing device of the future version of the main character telling his children about what happened in the end, they filmed that at the beginning of the show when those kids, the actors for his kids, were young, so they couldn't change it, you know. And it led to one of like the most controversial endings to a TV show I've ever seen. Let's see, what else? I've been watching Cobra Kai on Netflix also. I unsubscribed from Netflix for a very long time because I was like, I don't need to use this anymore. So I'm kind of catching up, and then I'm going to unsubscribe once I've kind of caught up on the stuff that I want to watch. Cobra Kai is a TV show about, it's a sequel to the 80s movie, The Karate Kid. The 80s movies, which I've actually not seen even. I'm just watching this series. And it's about like one of the villain kids from that movie, played by the same actor 40 years later, basically. So he's grown up and he's washed up and he's a complete loser. And it's about him like finding this kid to mentor and like them both kind of like navigating that and like figuring out their lives and growing as people. And it's like extremely, extremely cheesy television. But goddamn, I like it so much. I think just a little bit of cheesy soap opera style, like this could all be solved with just like a little bit of communication. I don't know. I like the show. I like shows about people who suck, trying their best to be better. I find that heartwarming. I'm getting better at sorting these, but it's actually still really tricky. This is a little bit harder than I wish it were. But oh my god, when I stop for a second, this is like a life thing, you know? Sometimes I don't stop. I was so zeroed in. My line of sight is so zeroed in right here on what I'm doing. And trying to figure out, are these the black silver colored ones, or are these the rainbow colored ones? And I just took a moment and I stopped looking at that. I stopped thinking about what I was doing. And I looked at this. I looked at what I've already done and the way that maybe if I turn off the ring light, it'll be a little bit better even. Not as much. It's actually kind of better with the ring light. I just took a look at these two nicely like sorted out piles. And I think sometimes in life you kind of have to do that, you know? I think you sometimes have to take a moment to rest from thinking about what you're doing right now and what you have to do in a bit, and just enjoy a moment of reflection on what you've already done. It's definitely not a skill that I feel like I'm very adept at. I'm a very like, you'll enjoy this when it's done, you know? When you finish this and you have two neat piles of rocks here, that's when you can stop and enjoy that you've done this. And I think maybe a good life skill is allowing yourself to enjoy this on the way to the destination, you know? Clearly the meditative qualities of this exercise is really doing it for me. Yeah, I'm generally an interactive media person. I like to play games. I like engaging with mechanics. I feel like it's relatively rare that like reading a linear story gives you the viewer or the consumer a chance to express yourself. And that's something I value really highly. You know, an example I bring up quite often is Pokemon. I think Pokemon invites you to participate in the world, asking what kind of Pokemon you would have, what kind of trainer you would be, what kind of activities you would do in the world, you know. I like media that asks you those questions. And I think because of the interactive nature of games, they tend to allow for that a lot more. Right? Cobra Kai, you know, doesn't really give you a lot of room to be like, which dojo would you join? I think one of my favorite characters in that show has to be like the mom. I guess she's she's a mother and a wife, and she's of one of the, oh shit, where did that go? Oh, I found it. Of one of the main characters. And her like one of her huge like character traits is she's like, when all of this karate drama happens, she's like the one person who's like, do you guys understand that this is ridiculous? Like, you guys are having karate wars, but like this is the real world. Like, this is crazy. And like, and she's so good at her character is so good at setting up like what flawed people the main characters are, where like they really let stuff get to them. So it's a fun little thing. I don't remember how I got on that. Oh, we were talking about media that allows you to kind of participate in it, right? I like that a lot. So I like getting to make choices that kind of like build your own personality. It's like playing a video game that's like you get to treat it as a personality test, you know? I like that a lot. I like being able to dress up in games too. That's a huge one for me. I'm really hoping to spend a little bit more time getting back into the video game that this disc mat is from. Okay. Made pretty good progress, I think. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. Yes, this is the Avalon Sorts Pebbles for 45 minutes stream. I keep saying stream, so you know how Twitch pilled I am. I went to go do karaoke with some friends last night, and I had a really good time. It was nice. Made me want to do more singing on stream. I think it'd kind of be fun to just do like an unarchived karaoke stream where I just say like, to hell with the DMCA stuff. If you don't archive this, then it is what it is. And then, you know, I think that's a much more normalized thing on this platform, actually, over on YouTube. I feel like that's where that tends to take place a little bit more often. So I feel like that'd be something that I would enjoy doing. Uh-oh. I dropped one. That is one. Hold on. I've dropped a couple. Wow. One thing about this toy, I think one of the double-edged swords about it is, I think how weak the magnets are does make it a lot more fun to play with how pliable this putty is. However, it does tend to get, I feel like there's definitely a risk of losing or dropping these. And I think that could be a concern for people with pets, for people with children. So that's just something to be aware of. I'm pretty excited to get to the next toy though. So I'm gonna try to keep going with this as much as I can. I'm a very, I hate having to put down a task and come back to it later. I really enjoy getting to complete a task. So I really want to like complete the task of sorting these pebbles before I move on to the next thing. Like I'll feel so much more at peace if we do that. I do have mixed feelings about this. I do think this is really fun. I wish that there were just like a set of these that came in a color that were more, that was more vibrant or like easy to distinguish from another set. I don't know how much of that is limited by the material that these are made by. I don't know how the oil slick like color is applied. I don't think it's like paint, you know. I wonder if like there's some kind of like heating procedure that they go through. I'm really not sure. But I'm both optimistic and nervous about the next one that I want to show. It's yeah, I've talked in the past video about how I'm not really a consistent consumer of ASMR. I know a lot of people who make it, but I'm not like the kind of person who like will sit down and like put on some headphones and just like be like, it's time for ASMR, you know, even to lull me to sleep. I am the kind of person who will do that with, you know, with an audio, and I'll sit down to like enjoy it recreationally, yeah, even to put me to sleep, you know. But when it comes to SFW ASMR, it's not something I really have spent a lot of time listening to. There is one particular video that was my favorite. However, it was like the one video where I was like, I will put this on to fall asleep. It was an SFW video. It was safe for work, and it did feature the toy that I don't even know if toy is the right term for this. It featured the stuff that I'm about to show you guys after we sort these pebbles. So if anything, it'll kind of be like my own little way to honor that video. I would link you guys, but it doesn't exist anymore. And now I have no ASMR that... Shit. Hang on. Did I just do this wrong? I did. There should be like 3 or 4 of these in here that are wrong. There you go, I found them. It's kind of hard to tell, especially in these lights. I thought there was one over here. I think we're good. It does feel really good to kind of like play with just like a small amount of these. I feel like you get a more concentrated tactile sensation when you kind of just have like a little bit. Then, you know, like playing with this is fun. I like to kind of like hold it and then like let it slowly kind of like, I like massage it in my hand and then let it kind of like, let me get this out of the way. I think this is an oil slick one. I like to kind of like massage it and then like let them kind of like slowly leak out of the bottom of my like fist like this. I don't know. It's kind of like playing with really, really slow moving water and made out of rocks, which I think is something I said last time. Okay, we're in the home stretch-ish of this. This is a remarkably less sensual experience, I feel like. I feel like there's a lot more really immediate, like, gut reactions in the last one, so I think that's something I'll have to keep in mind. This is a learning experience for me, though. And I'm lucky that you are here, watching me learn. Hopefully learning with me. I wonder how this would feel with tweezers. Probably a pain in the ass, or you'd have to get plastic tweezers. Otherwise, if you used metal tweezers, they'd probably all stick, right? I do love the feeling of kind of like tossing these into the pile and like letting them kind of snap together. That feels pretty good. Love doing this. That's nice. Kind of picking out the rainbow ones until I'm only left with the plain ones. It's also a pretty satisfying way to do it. Let's just relax. Relaxing pebble sorting exercise. They're just pebbles, and that's okay. Things are gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. These pebbles are gonna be okay. Ooh, maybe like a fun way to do it would be like make a little string out of these, and then from here we can kind of pick out. I can like thread these through if I can. Like this, I suppose. This looks wrong. And this one needs to go over here. This one also. Yeah, a couple of these I didn't really sort correctly, I guess, huh? It's easier to find incorrectly sorted ones in this pile, I feel like. I feel like these stick out in this pile, but not vice versa. So maybe a future way to do this is mix the two piles together and then just start removing the colorful ones over time until you end up with, you know, you could kind of like massage this out and then just identify if there's any in here that don't belong. You know, let's try it. Let's try that. Let's try it. Kind of like this, right? You just kind of keep doing this until eventually they should run out of the colorful ones. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I recorded an audio today. It was relatively short recording time. I think the audio itself came out to, no idea, somewhere around 20 minutes, hopefully. But it was very smooth. It's a very easy topic for me to just kind of slip into a headspace for and enjoy myself with. Yesterday, I also recorded. And that took me 5 hours. I was really physically tired from doing that. There was a lot of starting and stopping involved because of logistics. And whenever there is a lot of starting and stopping involved, that also means I have to stop and, let's say, redirect my blood flow properly in between stops. And that takes quite a while to go to do that many times over the course of an entire recording session. So that took quite a lot out of me physically. But I'm quite happy with the end product, and I'm really excited to get to share it at some point. But now I'm out of ideas again. I have something that I've been kind of mulling over for a while. I'm trying to figure out the way that I want to do it, though. About 3 to 4 times a year, we'll do a charity fundraiser stream on Twitch. And one of the incentives to donate to charity is I do a raffle for an audio request. And I've been kind of like, I have a lot of ways that I want to do this one. I'm trying to like figure out which one I want to go with. That's been something it's been on my mind for a while. Oh, we're almost done with these. Look at how big our sorted piles are. I feel like if I were not sober, I would just be done for. Like I would just be completely in the zone. I think that this magnetic pebble sorting exercise would be better done with like buckyballs, like the magnetic spheres that are, because those do come in very more aggressively colored varieties. So that's something I'll have to keep in mind. Honestly, now that I'm looking at these side to side, I kind of like the look of the plain ones a little bit more. So I don't think I'm going to say I have any like buyer's remorse for buying a second pack of these. I like the second pack. I definitely don't think I needed it. It's not adding, because the colors are so similar, it's not adding like the intense kind of like visual stimulus that I was kind of hoping for when I got like 2 different colors of these. I would have really loved to see a lot more contrast here. But I'm still happy with them. I think generally like one pack of these, if you want them, I think one is enough. One is enough, and I think it's a matter of personal preference, but I kind of do like the plain ones a little bit more. I think the oil slick color is more visually engaging to look at, but I feel like just the plain ones are kind of more relaxing to look at. Like they just kind of like look smoother. I think it is a personal preference thing. It's a person-to-person preference. You know, I'm suddenly realizing I should probably timestamp these videos, right? YouTube has chapter marks that I should be using. I'm going to slow my breathing down a bit. Yeah. That's good. Just about done with these. This does make me go like, should I just buy beads instead of these little magnets? I do love little magnetic things though. Just like getting to feel that little bit of resistance and attraction is really nice. Oh, we're okay. Just got a little bit more. This is nice though. Now that like we're in the home stretch and it's like, wow, look at this this beautiful job of sorting that we've done. Pretty good. There's our last little blob. This the sorting exercise doesn't really make a whole lot of noise. I still don't feel like I'm doing great at like the whole ASMR aspect of ASMR. This is kind of just like chill. And I'm okay with that. We're almost done. So yeah, this was the second pack of the Specs Crags. The difference in my satisfaction between two products made by the same company, night and day. I do really like these, as evidenced by the fact that I just played with them on stream for an hour. I keep seeing stream. Played them with them on video for an hour. These things are great. I really like them. Let's put these away and let's move on. We've been on this for long enough, I think. But I definitely know that I will continue to play with these and that I'll have a good time. I'm excited to like sort them into like more like smaller even piles. I'm excited to like, you know, make chains with them, like little alternating like strings. I do like these. I like these quite a bit. Let's move on. I don't really know what we're about to get into fully here. So I have got my cutting board out, just in case, and we're going to open up. This brand is just called the one and only Kinetic Sand. This is 2 pounds of sand. I got this for like $10. It was really cheap. Again, I don't really know what we're about to get into here. It says never dries out on the back. It's not supposed to be dry. This is the stuff. Like pink kinetic sand was basically that video that I mentioned being really into. It's a resealable bag, and we are meant to cut this open, so let's do that. And let's just open this up. Here, I'll do it here. Oh, okay. Smells kind of funny. Smells kind of like like a clothing aisle in like a TJ Maxx or Marshalls specifically. Like not a clothing aisle at like most clothing stores, but specifically at like, I don't know why. This has a really specific smell. Okay, first off, this bag, I don't know how I feel about it. If I really like this stuff, I will probably maybe invest in just getting like a plastic tub for it. But we'll see. Okay, this is Kinetic Sand. It's pretty like hard, like right now. The videos that I've seen with it have kind of like it flowing a little bit more. I did get my cutting board out because I do have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to get everywhere, but it's kind of like in this like compact form right now. It's hard, but you can kind of break it apart. Oh, it kind of like sticks to itself a little bit. Kind of see how like there's like little strings of it. Oh, and now it's falling. Okay. I think maybe given the amount of desk space that I currently have for this, let's take some of this and put it back in the bag. I think this is a bit more than my current setup really allows for. And if we need to add more, we can add more. But I kind of feel like we're going to get sand everywhere. So let's just kind of massage this out so that it turns into, oh, it really softens though. Like once you kind of massage a little bit and it turns into the sand, it's a little bit sticky. It's a little bit sticky and I don't know how I feel about that. But I think once we get to, once it softens up, it is nice to touch. I don't like that it's sticky. I wonder how much of it is residue from opening the crags. Ooh, it turns like fluffy though. Okay, I think it becomes not sticky. I think it's just the way that it's packed right now. It's like hard and it's like very concentrated, but I think once it kind of fluffs up, it becomes more grainy and not sticky, which I think is good. I don't want my sand to be sticky. You kind of just gotta let it breathe a little bit. Oh, I do love the way that it kind of like slowly falls. Yeah, we need to really get this unsolidified and more. There we go. Okay, so right out of the bag, I think there's it's not really some assembly required, but it's like some kind of like prep required. It's like a weird little nugget in here. I don't know if that's just like the sand is extra packed. Yeah, this is like extra packed in. It's kind of gooey and I don't really like that. I don't know if like maybe a drop of water got in here or something, or if it's just like so concentrated that it doesn't really have a chance to breathe. Yeah, wow, okay. I'm glad we put some of that away because as we kind of like massage this open, it definitely starts to expand as more air goes into it. I did not expect it to be like fluffy. It feels kind of like soft and fluffy. I expected it to be more grainy, and not gonna lie, it feels kind of good. It's a bit of a odd surprise. It does kind of seem like it will kind of like sink down on itself, like the weight will pull it down and it kind of concentrates at the bottom, which is nice. It makes it actually easy to play with. It gives me more oh shit. Let's just throw that piece out. So I kind of feel like I'm not going to want like dust to get mixed into this stuff. I don't really want like when stuff gets in here, it kind of creates a really bad feeling. And I really don't like that it's sticky here. I'm going to throw that out too. I do like that it kind of sinks in on itself. Like gravity kind of like re-solidifies it for you. And yeah. I love how slow it kind of just like falls. My camera quality, now that I'm looking up at it, is a little bit grainy. Oh wow, okay. Looking at this in real life and looking at it on the camera is definitely like two very different experiences. I do have good news. I am planning on picking up a much better camera. In the US, we have Black Friday. I don't know if that's a worldwide thing or not, but we do have Black Friday coming up. So I am looking to pick up a camera. The cameras that I'm looking at are quite expensive, so I'm hoping to be able to get some kind of a deal. This shit is great, by the way. This Kinetic sand stuff. I love I wish you guys could see this better. I'll revisit this with a better camera, okay? but like, oh, just watching it fall like that. Just watching it sort of like peel apart. Oh. Oh, that's good. I don't really like how it looks on camera, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but if I can get a better quality camera, I think I will. I think we're really gonna like doing this. The video that I liked a lot that is no longer available also had footage of the creator playing with this, but the footage was like reversed, like it was like backwards, like it was rewound, and that was so cool to watch. It was just mesmerizing. This is fun to play with. I don't feel like it's sticky anymore. I think it was just a symptom of like the packaging. It's been like kind of like hardened, and you can kind of like pack it in. Oh, you can really concentrate. You can really squish it. Oh, this is great. Yeah, and then you can kind of like break it back up again. Oh, this is nice. You can make a pancake. You can like, it feels good. It's grainy, but it's like just attracted to itself enough that like it's not just like I just put a fucking pile of sand on my desk and it's gonna get everywhere. I was really stressed out about how much mess this was gonna make, and I'm pleasantly surprised with the outcome. I could see myself doing a more formal video with this and just allowing it to be on my desk mat, and then I feel like it'd be really easy to clean afterwards. It just feels good to kind of just like move it and then play with it and then like let it sink. Yeah, wow. Let's try without the ring light. I don't know if that's going to help at all. No, it's just my camera is not good enough to pick this up. It's just too limited of a piece of hardware, and every day I grow increasingly unhappy with this webcam. So this is definitely putting me over the edge as far as purchasing a nice camera to do these videos with. I can do other kinds of videos with it too. Look, we made a little pyramid. What else can we make? We can make kind of like a no. This is YouTube. Let's see how high we can kind of like squish this. Whoa! I really like this stuff. As much fun as it is to play with in my hands, and hopefully you guys don't mind. I did kind of think that it would be kind of cool to mix it up a little bit. I had the cool opportunity to make this at a Renaissance fair. They had a little blacksmithing course that you could take, and basically you start with a plain rail spike and you turn it into a dagger. They had other stuff you could make, but I wanted to make the dagger, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of like play with. Oh shit, that feels really good. To just kind of like use the dagger to play with the sand. Oh my god, that feels pretty good. Just I'm not even applying pressure. I'm just letting the weight of the metal kind of like sink through the sand and allowing it to cut. I know for sure, I think I will make a video with this, and I think I will tilt the camera so that it's not a top-down view, because I do think a lot of the best parts of this stuff is lost when it's top-down. Because I think one of the best parts is being able to see it at a side angle as it kind of like falls on itself. I will definitely revisit this. This is truly a high maintenance toy. Like I was worried about the Specs Crags and them getting everywhere. And they do, but they're manageable. I can just leave them out of the tin on my desk is what I found. And I think I haven't really run into issues with that. This stuff, obviously, I don't think you could just leave on your desk, like, uncontained. That is like a tiny little grains getting everywhere hazard. Even if it is, like, much better than I was afraid of, I don't think you can just... Oh, wow, it does feel really good to play with. I need to get a better camera so that you guys can see this. Oh, just watching it kind of fall. I feel like I could do this for a while. I feel like the only drawback is, like, you really want just, like, something in place, to something easily cleanable. Like, I don't think I would recommend putting this directly on a table, because then you gotta, like, clean it all up afterwards. But, like, with something like the cutting mat or a desk mat or something like that, you could just pick this up off your desk and then bring it over to the trash can and kind of, like, sweep it all off. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is really good. Listen to that sound. Hang on, let me move the microphone down a bit. This isn't too sharp either. Like, it's pretty dull. I think they probably don't want to hand a bunch of actually fully sharpened weapons out to a bunch of people at a Renaissance fair where there's a lot of alcohol involved. So there's not, like, a ton of, like, safety concern for me here. Like, I'll be okay. I'm sorry. I probably should have warned you guys that I was going to put a knife on the screen, but this is more of, like, a souvenir slash, you know, ornament than it is a, like, functioning sharp object. Oh, okay. It was a good fucking call to bring the dagger into this, though. Like, this is great. Hello. I made a hello. Oh, okay. I love that it's, like, so variable between, like, being, like, a dense, like, its density is so variable. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And it's so easy to change the density. That's really fun. I love, so far, I'm really getting a lot of joy out of, like, kind of smushing it down and then kind of, like, softening it back up again. This is not a toy for children, remotely, because I'm, like, a full-grown adult, and, like, I want to eat this. Is this non-toxic? Remove all packaging, blah, blah, blah. Modeling compound, not intended to be eaten. I mean, I kind of figured. I kind of figured, but I just had to know. If you're the kind of person who, like, does not trust yourself to be like, can I eat this? I do think that this is a little bit dangerous. if you're the kind of person who's like, I must chomp and see, I do think that you need to be aware that this is a bit of a danger for you. I'm not even really that kind of person, and I'm like, I kind of just want to like take a spoonful of this shit. I have a spoon with me too. This is also from the Renaissance Fair. It came with a belt attachment and a bowl. It's like a little belt bowl, like a little travel bowl for like your medieval like traveling needs. But it's kind of cool because it's made out of bone, so it's like a really nice, light, but very solid feeling. It's really smooth. Oh, getting a scoop. Oh, 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 oh! Getting a scoop. Getting a scoop feels good. Okay, the spoon is really doing it for me. Oh, the spoon is really doing it for me, guys. Oh, because you can chop with the spoon, but you can also like flip with the spoon, which I don't feel like you can do as much with the knife. Oh yeah. Oh, but the problem with the spoon is it makes me want to eat it even more. No, I didn't. I promise I didn't. I won't do it. I will not eat the sand. Just. Okay. Kinetic sand so far. Pretty happy with it. It's unwieldy. It's definitely like not a like a leave it out on your desk and fidget with it toy. It is definitely like you have to kind of like set up for it, and there's like a little bit of cleanup. Although it's actually not too bad because you can kind of like squish it into itself, and then kind of like wipe up what you're using, at least on this material. But oh, that was sick to watch. Again, I'm gonna get another camera, a better camera, but watching it kind of like fall after like the knife separates it feels really good. This is a visually engaging material. This is great. I don't know if there's anything else interesting that we could really do with this. I mean, I know for a fact that there is, but I don't know what I have on my desk that oh, how about this? Oh right, I brought this over. I brought a measuring spoon. Thought maybe we could have some fun with the measuring spoon. Just kind of like pack this in maybe. Yeah. Okay, so this goes into like containers really well. I would love to get some cookie cutters for this stuff. I think if you have cookie cutters, and you want to play with this stuff, I think cookie cutters are pretty good. Pretty compatible tool. I think really like one of the biggest advantages of this stuff is like it really feels like you can get a lot of mileage just by adding some like household objects to it. That didn't really work the way I thought I wanted to, but it's still fun. You know, like make it like a little divot. Yeah. See, it's kind of getting not everywhere, but it's spreading a little bit the more that I play with it. So, this thing, the packaging, it does say not for children under 3 years. I don't know. I would worry about a kid with this stuff, like. But what do I know? I was getting to scoop and kind of like. Yeah. And kind of like make little scoops. I wonder if I can kind of like. A little bit. Probably not with this, you know, dagger of my own shoddy craftsmanship, but. Oh, it kind of feels like a little button that you can press. Hang on. Let's make one more of these. Okay, the sand is granting me quite a bit of joy. The other thing about the sand is it's cheap. Like, this is like half of the sand that I got, and like this is like $5 worth of sand, maybe, you know. I want to try this. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels good because it gets like more concentrated under my finger as I press into it. Again. Oh, that's good. I like that. Wait. I want to try something. Let's get a scoop. Let's get a couple scoops. With a couple ice cream scoops. I don't think they have to be perfect to get the sensation that I'm looking for. Okay. This. And then. Oh. All at once. Oh, fuck. Oh, how reflective is this spoon? Oh, we're fine. Okay. I did check. There was something else reflective that I was thinking about using, and I wisely did not. I don't remember what it was. Different spoon, I think. Oh, fuck. Okay, this stuff is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I do kind of stress out about it getting everywhere. I think if I really wanted to, I could probably invest in like a tray for this. But I think for now the cutting board is enough. It's just so relaxing to like watch it fall. And I do wish my current camera setup would do a better job of capturing that. But hopefully it just gives me something to look forward to making in the future for you guys. I do love that gravity kind of like just, it's enough that it will kind of just like, if you just leave this here, it will like solidify just from gravity pulling it down on itself. I think I'm going to have to change camera angles for this, but yeah, this is pretty good. Again, for like for like 10 American dollars, that's pretty good stuff. This is I feel like my we're just getting closer and closer to slime, right? We started with the rocks, and now we've moved on to the sand. We're just getting closer and closer to slime. We played with a little bit of slime today by accident. But yeah, I think I'll probably do a follow-up on this stuff too. I think it would be nice, because I do think that these like sensory toys, wear and tear and their ability to take it is an important part of their quality. I could say something here. I don't know if I will. I think your ability to take it is also a good indicator of your quality. That's just me having no discipline. I'm like, we should end this video, and I'm like, just a little bit more, a little bit longer with this, a little bit more sand. Oh yeah. Let's take this out of the sheath again. I'm just gonna do like a diagonal cut. Oh, and it's gonna kind of like all slump over. Oh my god. Oh, this is so great. Yeah, this camera is not doing the sand justice. So I will, maybe I will end this here, and we'll do a more dedicated sand stream when we get the new camera. Okay? Oh, this feels so good. Oh, fuck. This is like sex is great, but have you ever, moments, if you are a responsible adult, I would say I recommend getting a knife involved in your kinetic sand experience. It does feel really good. It feels really good to cut. I'm really curious about how this stuff will maintain, like how it will keep. I'm worried about, is it gonna dry out? Is it gonna turn to mush, like over time if I leave it in the bag? Like if I store it normally, right? Like what will happen to it? I don't know. I'm very, very new to this, but it is so great. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I definitely had a little bit of reservations at first. When I first opened this bag, I was like, uh-oh, like I was a little worried. I was like, oh, maybe this wasn't a great purchase, but after you kind of, really the worst thing was it felt sticky. My hands still feel a little bit like they have a little bit of residue on them, but it's like a normal amount and not like a, not like an upsetting amount. So I do think that's worth noting, is like if you open this and you really dislike it at first, give it like a couple minutes. I'm glad that I did. Not that I really had a choice, I guess I did have a choice, but I was already... Oh, you could just do this. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is even better. This is even better than that scoop exercise we were doing. You could just... Oh, this is just finding new ways to enjoy this. Enjoy this stuff. Again. One more time. Oh, I'm an adult. I'm doing so great, so mature. So scoopable. I really like want to end this video and like go eat dinner, but I'm just like just another minute, or just like what other like weird thing can I like discover about? Oh, that's right. When I was reaching over for the measuring spoon, I was actually not reaching for it. I was reaching for something else that I wasn't planning on using for this video. And then I remembered that I had brought this over, and I was like, we should probably start with this. But I also have this little like let's call them Easter eggs here on YouTube. This is not an Easter egg. This is an egg that contains something very different. It's made by a company called Tenga, if that gives you an idea. But I was thinking also maybe it would be fun to kind of like pack this into the... it's the packaging for a very different kind of toy that I have reviewed on a very different kind of website. But, oh, it's kind of fun to, like, pack it in here, actually. Oh, that's kind of fun. Yeah, okay, so I'm really gathering that, like, anything that, like, can hold the sand is kind of like a fun accessory to this toy. I feel like this one is really unique in that, like, there's so many ways to add to your enjoyment of this sand. So many ways to like, so many ways to add to your interactions with it. I think that's great. With like your own creativity is really the limits of the toy. I really like this packaging says like not for children 3 or under. Like I would hesitate to give this to like a 4-year-old or like a 6-year-old or like you know. Wow. I made an egg. I made an egg. Squish. And it like softens up as it like spreads out. Oh, that is so great. I do kind of feel like now I'm like, are there bits and grains of the sand in these? Like not a big deal because this is just garbage at this point. Like it's just packaging. It's not like it doesn't have anything to do with the toy that it was packaging originally, but yeah, this stuff is pretty great, I think. Some of it got on my phone over here somehow. I do think this is roughly where we're gonna call it. But you know, this is good. Look, this is really relaxing. I'm looking forward to making better quality and differently angled videos of this stuff. And I hope you enjoy that as well. For those of you who have been watching along, this is still a very new thing to me. I feel like I did worse at the ASMR aspect of this video than I did on the last one. I didn't really do a lot of rumbly voice, but I think it's just because I'm tired from like 6 hours of recording this week. But I would really appreciate if you guys let me know what you liked about this or what you didn't like about this. what you want to hear or see me do more of. Do you like it when it's more whispery? Do we like just the regular speaking voice? Is both good? Should we mix it up? Should we do individual audios or individual videos of each? I'm still playing around with a lot of how we do this, so this one was honestly more of like a ramble than it was ASMR, and I think that's okay. So yeah, thank you for the very blah 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 blah. Interesting. Thank you very much for watching, is what I was trying to say. And I will see you in the next one. Please remember to eat food. Please remember to drink water. Please remember to be nice to yourselves. Bye.